Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. In this video, we will be comparing Hadi Choopan from the 2019 Mr. Olympia to the 2022 Mr. Olympia. And prior to Hadi winning the title, 2019 was probably seen as his best version. I don't think anyone would have been mad if Hadi would have won the title that year. But I do want to share something with you guys that I found very interesting. Since Hadi has won the title, I've heard almost nothing but criticism. I've heard people say Hadi is a weak Mr. Olympia or among the weakest Mr. Olympias. Hadi isn't going to be able to retain the title. And that's very interesting because some of the same people that are calling Hadi a weak Mr. Olympia are the same people that had him winning in 2019 and 2021. But I just think Hadi Choopan's physique got more praise before he won the title. I'm only seeing a lot of criticism. But enough with the rant, let's go ahead and get into this comparison. So let's take a look at the front double bicep. And the first thing that I noticed in this shot, it looks like the Olympia had better lighting in 2019. Now the second thing that I noticed, Hadi Choopan's legs seem to be in better condition in 2019, and also the quad sweep looks to be a little bit better. But once we take a look at 2022 in the upper body, we can definitely see that Hadi has put on some size. To me, Hadi's physique looks more pleasing to the eye in 2022. Overall, he looks to be bigger, a little bit tighter in 2019, but as we've mentioned before, Hadi was holding a slight film of water at the 2022 Olympia prejudging. He did get harder as he posed more, however. But overall, 2019 definitely has the edge in conditioning, quad sweep, and definition. But I prefer 2022 overall. Hadi's physique looks more pleasing to the eye here. And let's take a look at the front lat spread pose. Now, the first thing that draws my attention, and probably you guys as well, the shoulders of Hadi Choopan in 2019, they did not look good. And even though Hadi was a little bit smaller, it looks like he was having a hard time controlling his midsection in this shot. And I just noticed this. If you take a look at Hadi's right arm, which is to our left, the tricep seems to be a little bit down in size. You can see that in both years. But once we take a look at the lower half, I would definitely say 2019 is better. Once again, more separation, and Hadi also had a better quad sweep. It looks to me that Hadi has lost some of that quad sweep, and I'm not sure how. Hadi is only 33, 34 years old, and as we know, when guys get 40 plus, the legs can start to decline. But let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think? I don't think Hadi's legs have lost size, but the sweep doesn't look as powerful as it was in 2019. And let's take a look at the side chest pose. Hadi Choopan's level of conditioning in 2019 is insane. And I say once again, the Olympia appears to have better lighting in 2019 as well. Now take a look at 2022. Hadi seems to be significantly bigger in the upper body. But as I said in a past Hadi comparison, in 2022 he's really executing this pose to the best of his ability and getting the most out of it. But overall, I actually like 2019 in this shot. The conditioning is insane. And for you guys that always like to speculate, in 2022, if you look closely at Hadi's side leg, appears to have two knots there. I'm not going to speculate about them, but I did notice it. And I have to give Hadi Choopan credit. His chest and his arms are definitely bigger in 2022. And I'm still not sure about the legs. Did Hadi have a better quad sweep in 2019, or were his legs better overall? Now let's take a look at the back double bicep pose. And this is a very interesting shot. Overall, these two versions are pretty comparable. My eyes go to 2019 first because of better lighting. Also, Hadi has on more oil. But it's apparent in 2022 that Hadi definitely has a bigger back, also has bigger delts and bigger arms. Now, Hadi may have had a slightly more bubbly back in 2019. And once we take a look at the lower half, look pretty comparable. Again, Hadi Choopan may be holding a slight film of water in 2022 in comparison to 2019. But even though Hadi didn't bring his signature level of conditioning to prejudging, he was still one of the most conditioned guys on that stage. Now let's take a look at the rear lat spread pose. And it's really evident in this shot that Hadi definitely had a slight film of water. 2019 is taking him to school in this shot. Take a look at the back. Insane. But there could still be an argument made for 2022 because Hadi Choopan is definitely bigger and he is in good condition, just not the same condition as 2019. But if we compare 2019 to Hadi Choopan on the second day, it is going to be a different story. And why did Hadi hold a little bit of water going into prejudging? I just have to assume that those guys were waiting backstage for so long for all of the other divisions to finish. It had to have an effect on their look. Most of those guys waited 4 hours backstage. Nick Walker said he only waited about an hour and a half because he timed it a little bit better than most, and that's probably why Nick was very close to being on. And unfortunately, we don't have a side tricep comparison because Hadi Choopan did not hit it during his individual routine at the 2022 Mr. Olympia, but I still wanted to showcase the side try from 2019 because Hadi's level of conditioning is just wild. And I also wanted to put up this variation of the side tricep just for you guys to see. Hadi looks bigger in 2022, but again, the level of conditioning and vascularity in 2019 is unmatched. And again, the lighting could play a big role in this. And also, Hadi Choopan was a little bit smaller in 2019. And as we know, when guys add on size, you can blur a little bit of those fine details. But let's go ahead and finish up this comparison here with the most muscular shot. And I forgot to mention that we don't have an ab and thigh comparison because in 2019, Hadi Choopan did not hit the traditional ab shot in his individual routine. But you guys can take this for what it's worth. Now, taking a look at this most muscular shot, this is probably the only shot that 2019 really wins significantly. Hadi looks to be a little bit more bubbly and round in 2019, and I also prefer the quads there. Now take a look at Hadi's abs. From 2019 to 2022, looks like a completely different ab makeup. I'm not saying it's negative, but I just noticed it. Looks like Hadi Choopan has a completely different set of abs. And if I had to guess, I would say that's because Hadi's midsection now is probably more muscular and also better conditioned. But overall, I would side with the most recent version of Hadi Choopan. He came in a little bit watery at prejudging, but if we compare the finals version of Hadi Choopan to the prejudging from 2019, I do believe the conditioning levels are very close. But as always, let me know in the comment section below, how do you guys feel about my analysis of Hadi Choopan's physique from 2019 to 2022? And also, why are so many people so negative towards this guy when this is the same guy almost everyone has been wanting to win the Olympia since 2019? I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.